Going on? What's going on? I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. This is episode 193. But before I get started, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate your support. Once again, episode 193, and this particular topic is confusion. Confusion. I want to make sure that I slow this down so we can really dive into this particular topic of confusion. Make sure you are paying attention to real information and research information for yourself, no matter what it may be. Just make sure that you be diligent and research information for yourself. And the reason why I'm saying that, the only way misinformation could take form is if the source of the misinformation is based on confusion. That's the only way misinformation can take form. If it's based on confusion, it stops you from thinking about anything else other than what's being said without you doing the individual research on it. That's how it takes form. That's how it takes shape. Because you're so confused, you're not taking the time and you don't have the patience to research it. So you find yourself listening to other people and listening to their confusion, and that's what's leading you. The source of misinformation is coming from the confused person, and they're spreading this and peddling this information, and you're kind of listening to it without researching this stuff for yourself. Be very careful. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. There's a lot of stuff happening all around us. And as long as you are confused about what's being said, which is purposely done, obviously. So if you don't take the time to be an independent thinker and research whatever information is being peddled, you're going to fall prey to paying attention and following misinformation. And the sad part about that is a lot of times when something is said and we don't research it, you spread it. And okay, I'll paint this picture. You ever been part of a group conversation and you're with a bunch of friends and you're in this group and everybody's talking, and then somebody is recanting a story, and maybe one or two facts may not be correct. It's an interesting story. So you now take the story, and when you move it all along to your other group of friends, outside of this group of friends, you're recanting the same story with those one or two facts that you were a little bit fuzzy about. You wasn't exactly sure about the factual, content. So it becomes a little bit misinformed because you didn't exactly get the fact check right. So now you're sharing this information in this story with your other group of friends. And it's interesting to them as well. So what do? One or two of them may take it and they're sharing it with another group of friends. And then that other group of friends may take it because it's interesting enough, and they take it. Before you know it, that story that wasn't fact checked, the one or two things that were kind of fuzzy, the one or two things that you were kind of confused about in the beginning with the first group of friends, is now shared with 3, 4, 5 other group of friends. And then that's shared, and so on and so on and so on. Here's my point. Nobody stopped to fact check the first time the story was told because you was a little bit fuzzy about what was said, but it was an interesting story. You kind of took it and ran with it. And that's how misinformation is. A simple analogy like that, that's how misinformation, and that's something really harmless. I'm just, giving you an antidotal, piece to it. But That's how misinformation is spread. That's how confusion is spread. If you don't research it or you don't ask the appropriate questions while it's being said and it's not fact checked right there on the spot, before you know it, confusion and misinformation is spread throughout 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different groups. And depending on how big of a source one particular person in that group is, that thing can go real big, real quick, real fast. Because now with social media, you can pretty much take anything and make it something. Something as minuscule as it being this big can now move into something this big. Be very careful. Just pay attention to what you're hearing and how you're digesting information, and pay attention to what's being said to you. And then just simply do the research. We used to always tell our son when he was much younger, even when we're talking, I still want you to research what's being said. And here's the very important reason why. Sometimes when you're saying something, and of course it's factual, it's contextual, it's all these things, right? You don't know how the person in front of you is digesting it. You don't know how they're comprehending it. And most people, they're not going to be, some people are bashful, so they're not going to be forthright enough to say, hey, you know, whoa. Could you say that again? Could you explain that again? I didn't understand what you said. A lot of people won't do that. I don't have a problem with it. If you're telling me something that, again, is a little bit fuzzy and I'm not really grasping it, could you, time out, could you say that again? I think I heard what you said. I just want to make sure I comprehended what you said. I understood what you said. I don't want to leave any area where there's a gray area and I'm misinformed, just in case. I may want to take that information because it's good information and I want to share it with someone else. Or I may want to come on my Napoleon Corners channel and talk about it. I'm not going to come up here and give you and misinform you with something that I heard that I didn't even digest or understand, and I'm going to come and share it with you. My point exactly. So no, if you hear something that don't make sense or it hits your ears a little different, yeah, the same way somebody feels as though they have the right to spread misinformation should be the same right that you have to make sure that the information is factual, it makes sense, and that you researched it and there's a fact check behind it. There is nothing wrong with that. Why is it okay for people to spread lies, but it's not okay for you to correct it? Why is it okay for people to give you misinformation, but it's not okay for you to research it? Why is it okay for people to tell you something that they know is a lie, but it's not okay for you to research it and fact check it and in fact check it? Why is that okay? So basically what I'm saying in a nutshell is people will tell you can have it both ways, but you can't. Reason being, a lie is a lie, the truth is the truth, and if you intertwine the two, it's misinformation. A lie is a lie, the truth is the truth, and if you entwine the two, it's misinformation. Somewhere along the lines, a fact check on a lie is going to turn out to be the truth. Nothing wrong with researching, and there's nothing wrong with you paying attention, and there's nothing wrong with you if you don't understand what somebody's telling you because it doesn't sound right. There's nothing wrong with researching it and fact checking it. That's what it's all about. Nothing wrong with that at all. But make sure that you totally got what's being said and there is no confusion involved on any levels. Nothing wrong with that. Be the fact check king and queen. Nothing wrong with it at all. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Again, I greatly appreciate your support. I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. I'll see you next week. Take care.